One of the things I love about Adobe Illustrator is it lets those of us who aren't great artists to still produce some really nice looking graphics. And we do that by drawing basic shapes and combining them together with the Pathfinder tool. And the Pathfinder tool is up here under Window, and it's called Pathfinder. And I always line up my tools on the right hand side just because I think they're easier to find. And so what I'm going to do is draw a rectangle and draw a circle, and I'm going to take this circle and I'm going to use my guides to line this up exactly. Notice that the circle is centered with the square and the center of the circle is on the edge of the square. I'm then going to make a second circle by holding down the Option button. Whoops, and notice I have two things which are selected there. So if I select just the circle and pull down Option, I can pull this over onto the side so that both of these are perfectly lined up. And you can see I have kind of a heart shape right here, but it's still three separate pieces. Notice right now that they're all filled with the white fill. I could select them all, and just by tapping the slash or the question mark key, it's going to give me no fill right here. And I can see what those three shapes look like. I'm going to select them all again, and I'm going to turn them red on the inside, but notice they still have this outline on them. So I'm going to go to my Pathfinder tool now and click here, and it becomes one shape. I can take my cursor to the edge and I can pull this, and I could look until it gives me exactly 45 degrees, or I could hold down my Shift key and it is going to constrain it to the nearest 45 degrees. And here I have my little heart. Okay, so very simple. If I don't want it to have an outline, I can choose the outline right here and say no outline, and I have my little red heart. Likewise, if I want to make an ice cream cone, I can do something very, very similar. I draw my big circle, I draw my second circle, I hold down Option, and I pull off three circles right here. Notice now I'm going to select just those three circles on the bottom, and I want to make sure that they are equal distance from each other. So I can go to my Align tool, which showed up when I chose Pathfinder. Otherwise, I can go up to Window and just choose Align, and it will pop up right here. And usually when I choose Align, I can align things up by their tops or by their bottoms or by their sides, or however I want to do that. What I want to do though is make sure that I have the same amount of space between each one. So I'm going to go here to the three lines, which means there's more things, show the options, and here I'm going to say distribute the space. And actually I did a pretty good job of eyeballing that already, so I'm going to highlight them, say distribute the space. Then with the three of those still selected, I can pull them over so that these three are perfectly lined up as my green guides show me. Doesn't look much like an ice cream cone, does it? But if I select all of these, go back to my Pathfinder, choose the first one, which says Unite, I get that nice little blob of ice cream. I can then take my pen tool and go click. It's in a straight line because I'm using my tools. I can come down here, it shows me exactly where the middle is, and I want to click here to close my path. My cone is in the front. I go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back, and there I have my ice cream cone. If I decide that my cone is a little bit too small, I can always pull it over, take the two of these again, go back to my Align and say align them through the middle, please. So very easy for an ice cream cone.